Om Shanti. This is the Sakar Murli of Saturday, the 8th of June 2019. The essence is, sweet children, only by having remembrance and by studying will you receive a double crown. Therefore, imbibe divine virtues while keeping your aim and objective in front of you. Question is, how does the Father, the Creator of the worlds, Vishwarajita, share with children? The answer is, first, his service is to give you children the unlimited inheritance and make you happy. No one can do the altruistic service, Vishkan Sheva, like the Father does. Second, the unlimited Father rents a throne and makes you into the masters, who are seated on the throne of the world. Vishwakartaknashi, he himself doesn't sit on the peacock throne, Kaushikak, but he sits you children on the peacock throne. People built non-living temples to the Father. What taste would he get from that? It is the children who receive the fortune of the kingdom of heaven, who experience that pleasure, that maja. Om Shanti, the Father says to you, sweetest spiritual children, consider yourselves to be souls and remember the Father. The meaning of Om Shanti has been explained to you, children. The Father says Om Shanti, and the children also say Om Shanti, because the original religion of souls, Swadharma, is peace. You now know that you come here from the land of peace, you go from the land of peace, and then while taking 84 births you go into the land of sorrow. You remember this. You children become living beings, embodied beings, Jivatmas, and take 84 births. The Father does not become an embodied being. He says, I take the temporary support of this one. How else would he teach you? How would he repeatedly tell your children, Manmanababav, remember your kingdom? Ogni Rajo ko yada karo. This is called receiving the kingdom of the world in a second. The Father is unlimited, and so he will surely give you unlimited happiness and the unlimited inheritance. The Father shows you a very easy path. He says, now remove this land of sorrow from your intellects in order to become a master of the new world of heaven that is being established. Remember me, and your sins will be cut away. You will then become Satopradhan once again. This is called easy remembrance. Just as children remember their physical fathers so easily, similarly, you children have to remember the unlimited Father. The Father Himself removes you from the land of sorrow and takes you to the land of happiness. There is no mention of sorrow there. He tells you very easy things. Remember your land of peace. The Father's home is your home. And remember the new world. That is your kingdom. The Father is serving you children so selflessly. He makes you children happy and then goes and sits in the supreme abode in the stage of retirement in Parandam. In Prastavasta, you towards this of the supreme abode that is also called the land of Nirvanagam. The land beyond sound, the Father comes to serve children, that is to give you the inheritance. This one himself receives the inheritance from the Father. Shiv Baba is God, the highest on high. There are many Shiv temples. He doesn't have a father or a teacher. He has the knowledge of the beginning, the middle, and the end of the whole world. Where did he get that from? Did he study any Vedas or scriptures? No. The Father is the ocean of knowledge, the ocean of happiness and peace. There is a difference between the praise of the Father and the praise of human beings with divine virtues. You imbibe divine virtues and become those deities. Previously, you had devilish traits. Ashurigu. It is the duty of the Father alone to change devils into deities. Ashur. To Devta. Your aim and objective is in front of you. You too must surely have performed some elevated actions. Shurest karma. It takes a second to explain the philosophy of action, neutral action, and sinful action. Yagativ karma or vikar. That is to explain everything. The father says, "Sweet children, you have to play your parts. You receive those parts eternally. You have performed this play of happiness and sorrow so many times. You have become the masters of the world so many times. The Father is making you souls elevated. God, who is the Supreme Soul, is so tiny. That Father is also the ocean of knowledge. So He also makes you souls similar to Himself. You become oceans of love and oceans of happiness. Deities have so much love amongst themselves. They never fight. The Father comes and makes you similar to Himself. No one else can make you become like that. The play takes place in the corporeal world. First, there is the original eternal deity religion, the Adi Sanatan, the Devta Karma, and then those of Islam and the Buddhist, etc., come onto this stage, which is the stage where you come and act number wise. You are the ones who take 84 births. It is remembered that souls remain separated from the Supreme Soul for a long time. Atmaya Paramatma. Alagrebo Hokal. The Father says, sweetest children, you are the ones who came first to play the parts in the world. I enter this one for a short time. This one is an old shoe. Purani Jyoti. When a man's wife dies, he says, one old shoe has gone, and I will not now get another new one. This too is an old body of Brahma Baba. He has been around the cycle of 84 births. The same applies to you, Takwam. So I come and take the support of this chariot. I never enter the pure world. You are impure and you call out to me to come and purify you. Eventually your remembrance will be fruitful. I come when it is time for the old world to end. Establishment is carried out through Brahma. Through Brahma means through the Brahmins. First is the top knot, Brahmins, then the deities, then the warriors. You do a somersault, Abajoli. You now have to renounce body consciousness and become soul conscious. You take 84 births. I take this body on loan just once. I rent it. I am not the landlord of this building. Wakan Malik. I will leave this one. He has to be given rent. The Father also says I give rent for this building. He is the unlimited Father and so he must be given some rent. He takes this throne in order to explain to you. He explains to you in such a way that you become seated on the throne of the world. He says, I myself do not become that. He sits you on the throne, which is the peacock throne. The Somnath temple has been created in memory of Shiv Baba. The Father says, Well, you children experience pleasure in heaven. I'd even not go to heaven. Then, when the path of devotion begins, you spend so much money building those temples. Even then, thieves loot them. Your wealth and prosperity all finish in the kingdom of Ravan. Does the peacock throne exist now? The father says, Mazmud Gujnavi, and looted the temple that was built to me. No other land is as solvent as Bharat was. No other place can become a pilgrimage place like this one. However, today there are so many pilgrimage places in the Hindu religion. In fact, the pilgrimage place should be where the Father, who grants everyone salvation, is. This too is in the predestined drama, but this is very easy to understand. But you understand it number wise because the kingdom has been established. Lakshmi and Narayan are the masters of heaven. They are the most elevated human beings and they are called deities. Those with divine virtues are called deities. Those who belong to the highest deity religion belong to the family path. At that time, there was just your family path. The father made you double crowned. Ravan then took off both your crowns. Now there are no crowns, neither the crown of wealth nor of purity, neither then Katach nor Pavitrada Kachaj. Ravan has taken off both your crowns. The father comes and gives you both crowns once again by your having remembrance and by studying. This is why it is remembered. O God the Father, become our guide and liberate us. This is why you're called guys and the others. Kauravas say, liberate us for kingdom of sorrow and take us back with you. The Father alone establishes the land of truth, Sachkan, which is called heaven, Swaru. Then Ravan makes it into the land of falsehood, Jitkan. They say God Krishna speaks. Krishna Bhagwan Navach. The Father says, God Shiva speaks. Shiv Bhagwan Vach. The people of Bharat changed the name, and so the whole world also changed that name. Krishna is a bodily being. Shiv Baba alone is the bodiless one. Krishna is Detari, Shiv Baba alone is the Dehi. You children are now receiving might from the Father. You become the masters of the whole world. You receive the whole sky and the earth. Sharashman and Dusty. No one has the power to snatch that away from you. For 3/4 of the cycle, when their population expands and reaches millions, they bring their army and conquer you. The Father gives you children so much happiness. He is praised as the remover of sorrow and the bestower of happiness. Dukharta, Sukharta. At present, the Father is sitting here and explaining to you the philosophy of action, neutral action and sinful action. In the kingdom of Ravan, actions become sinful actions. In the golden age, actions are neutral actions. You have now found the one Satguru who is called the husband of all husbands, Patyokapati, because all of those husbands also remembered that one. So the father explains, this is such a wonderful drama. An imperishable part is recorded in such a tiny soul, and it will never be erased. This is called the eternal and imperishable drama. God is one, the creation, the tease, the cycle, and the ladder are all the same. No one knows the creator or creation. Rishis and Munis also say, we do not know. You are now sitting at the confluence age, and your battle is with Maya. She doesn't leave you alone. Children say, Baba, I was slapped by Maya. Baba says, children, you have lost everything you had earned. God is teaching you, and so you shall study well. Only after 5,000 years will you receive such a study again. Acha, to the sweetest, beloved, long lost and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning from the mother, the father, the Bab-Dada. The spiritual father says, Namaste to the spiritual children, and the spiritual children say, Namaste to the spiritual father. Essence for Dharna, the first point. Remove your intellect's yoke from this land of sorrow. Remove your buddhi yoke from dukkdam. And remember the Father who establishes the new world. Naidunya. Become Satupradhan. Second, become an ocean of love and an ocean of peace and happiness. Like the Father. Prem Sagar, Shanti or Shuga Sagar, Bab Shaman. Understand the philosophy of action, neutral action and sinful action. Negative kar or kar and vikarma. And constantly perform elevated actions. Shresth karma. The blessing, the vardhan is, may you be filled with all powers and stabilize your mind and intellect in a second, no matter what the atmosphere is. May you be filled with all powers, Sarva Shakti Sampan, and stabilize your mind and intellect in Kagra, your man and buddhi, no matter what the atmosphere, Vayumandal is. Baba Dada has given all of you children all the powers as your inheritance. The power of remembrance, Yadki Shakti, means to be able to focus your mind and intellect wherever you want, and to be able to stabilize your mind and intellect in a second, whatever the atmosphere. The situation may be of upheaval, halchal, the atmosphere may be tamaguni. In spite of that, you must become stable in a second. When you have such controlling power, you will then be said to be one with all powers. The slogan is those who wear the crowns of responsibility for world benefit and the light of purity become double crowned. Those who wear the crowns for na for Vishwa Kalyan and the light. Om Shanti. Sweet elevated versions of Madhesvari Ji ke Madhur Mahavakya, the title, the wonderful time of having the hopes of your life fulfilled. The Suhavna Samay, all having the ashes becoming Puranas. All of us souls have had the hope for a long time of having constant happiness and peace in our lives. And so, the hopes that we have had for a long time shall of course be fulfilled at some point. This is now our final birth, and it is now the final birth. No one should think I'm still young or old, everyone needs happiness. But we should first of all have the knowledge of what it is that causes sorrow. You now receive the knowledge that by having remembrance of God, you have to burn away the bondage of karma bandhan, which has been created because of your being trapped in the five vices. This is the easy way of being liberated from the bondage of karma. Remember the Almighty Authority Baba in every breath while walking and moving around. It is God Himself who comes and then helps us by showing that method, but its soul has to make the effort for himself. God comes in the form of the Father, Teacher, and Guru, and gives us the inheritance. So we have to belong to that Father, and we then have to study with the teacher, through which our future reward of happiness will be created for birth after birth. This means we shall receive a status for liberation in life, Jivan Mukti, according to the efforts we make. In the form of the Guru, he makes us pure and grant us liberation, Mukti. And so we have to understand this secret and make such effort. This is the time to finish the old accounts and create a new life. At this time, according to the effort we make to purify our souls, a pure record will accordingly be recorded, which will then continue for the whole cycle. So everything for the whole cycle depends on the income earned at this time. Look, it is only at this time that you receive the knowledge of the beginning, middle, and end. We have to become deities, and this is our ascetic stage, and we shall then go there and experience our reward. There, the deities are not aware of what will happen afterwards, that they will descend. If they knew that, they either experience happiness and will then fall down. Then, by worrying about their falling, they will not even enjoy their happiness. So, the golden law has been created, which is that people constantly try to ascend, that is, they're always yearning for their happiness. However, the part in the drama is of half and half, and we know this secret. However, when it is the time for happiness, we then have to make effort and claim that happiness. This is the speciality of effort. The duty of actors is to play their parts with great speciality at that time of acting, so that those who come to see them praise them. This is why the deities have received the parts of the hero and heroine, and the memorial is remembered and worshipped. To stay in a viceless household and to have a stage like a lotus is the speciality of deities. It is because of forgetting this speciality that Bharat has reached this unfortunate state. Now God Himself has come to make us create such a life like that once again. By catching hold of His hand, your boat of life will go across. Jivanaya Barko.